All right, guys, welcome to 6 Weeks to Success, week number 4. We are really focusing down on the detoxification process today. I want to clarify, the differences of thought that are out there, why they're out there, so you can kind of understand a little bit better why the confusion is out there and why you hear both sides of the coin and why that's so confusing. And I was on the other side of this coin for many, many years. And it's only because I was so committed to the other side that, I was seeing and feeling pain and having problems, even though I was fully committed to that other side of this program. I was committed to the conventional mainstream approach to health and wellness for 30 years. As a bodybuilder, I was following the recommendations of protein and vitamins and minerals and alkaline water and vegetables and fats, essential fats. And I was following that very, very closely and precisely for many years. And I know this because I was with my family on New Year's Day. We went for a walk, and it was January 1st, 2016. So I know it was January 1st, and I couldn't keep up with my family because of the pain I was having in my knee and my Achilles. It was just so painful that I had to walk behind my family. And I remember being extremely frustrated and thinking, I've got to be doing something wrong. Something has to be wrong. And I need to understand and figure out what it is that's wrong with this. And I had to take responsibility for what was going on. And because I took responsibility and said, I have to be in control. I have to be the creator of what's happening to me, and I'm following this, and this is not working for me. And I'm seeing my wife has turned to vegan, my daughter has turned to vegan, and I'm seeing some positive changes happening in their lives. And, I still have this roadblock in my mind that I need these amino acids, and I need these essential fats, and I need this B12, and I need this vitamins, and I can't get beyond that, but something is not right for me. So I'm in a real vantage point that I'm working with people. I'm seeing some people get stuck. I'm seeing some stucking points for myself. I've been watching this trend for 30 years. I'm seeing this pain in my body, and I'm seeing veganism right in my household happening in front of me. And I'm seeing the changes in their life. And then I'm slowly removing meats to try and discover what the issue is. And in the removal of these products, I start to realize the deep truth that the stuff that we think we need is actually creating toxicity inside of our bodies. And then as I'm recognizing this change happening in my body, I'm provided with this book, The Mucusless Diet, and it just gets referred to me. And I read this book, and I understand completely now the other side of the coin, which is the healing side. And you never hear about this unless you're stage 4 cancer, unless you come kind of to that point in your life where you've exhausted the conventional approach, where you've gone through the chemotherapy and you're at death's door, where they're saying you have X amount of months to live, and you're now, okay, well, I have to take my health into my own hands. This is when you take it back into your control, and you stop following the theories and opinions of doctors. And God bless doctors. I'm not saying we don't need them. I'm not saying that they're bad or they're wrong. But, I'm going to share some information with you tonight. There's lots of information to understand, but I'm going to share some details from this book that really clarified some stuff for me. And hopefully, in the process of sharing that some of you will also become unhinged. And that's what it is that we're stuck in a paradigm of thought, a way of thinking that's holding us in our place. We cannot move forward because we're stuck on an incorrect thought. And this is what always holds us in our place. This is what always holds us trapped. It's always an incorrect thought that sticks us. So the conventional mainstream approach is all about the attainment of nutrient that we need to get things in order to achieve health and wellness. That health and wellness is something that we attain through our nutrition. And we can think of examples where that just doesn't seem to add up to be truth. Because the sick man doesn't really feel hungry. The sick animal doesn't really eat. So, food and nourishment is not actually what heals us. There's evidence of that out there. The healing process is actually something that is natural. It's something that happens naturally without anyone actually having to do something. In fact, when we are most still, when our bodies are most still, this is when the healing occurs. So this is why the fasting, right? The fasting eliminates the body from having to do digestion. So creating more stillness in the body. This is why reducing acids from the body stop the agitation in the body, and then settling the mind and creating more focus in the mind. And with a more focused mind, we're able to reach a alternative space. Right? And what's going on is that we've got an agitated minds that can't focus, and that's why we can't see and realize the truth, and we can't seem to get ourselves out of this ego mindset trap that we are just body and mind and emotion. This is the ego. We get trapped in this thought process that this is what we are, and this is not the truth. This is not what we are. We are beyond that. We are a spirit having a human experience, a physical body experience. We are not the ego, we are the spirit. And that's the confusion that we can't seem to realize because we're stuck in a paradigm of thought that keeps us trapped inside of our minds. That happiness is actually this food, or happiness is money, or happiness is material things. Happiness is a feeling inside of our body. And those are true. That's true. We can get happy from feelings and physical things and from money. Those are short-term happiness. And if we want to talk about real long-term happiness, that's what we're talking about, is it's coming into alignment with what is true. It's coming into alignment with the truth, is that happiness is within. You've heard this before. What does this mean? It's not within the mind. It's not within the body. It's not within the emotional body. Happiness is within the spirit body. It is our nature. And we need to return to that truth. And that truth is empowering, that we have the power within us to create change in our life. And that's the difference here between the conventional mainstream approach and the physiology of healing, is that with the physiology of healing, we are in charge of our health and wellness and healing. With the conventional mainstream approach, health and wellness is something that comes from outside, like our genetics, like whether or not we bump into a bacteria, or whether or not we're exposed to a cancer and it's inside of us, and now there's nothing we can do about it except for, have hopefully go to this machine which radiates us, or go to, or take some poison, and luckily, hopefully that will die. And that is the solution. It's kind of a luck, right? Hopefully we don't get sick, and hopefully we get well if we get sick. That is the conventional mainstream approach. As you age, you're going to have pain, and you're going to get sick, and you're going to need these things, because that's what the aging process is. And I'm suggesting no. I'm empowering you to realize that no, that is not what the aging process is. That is the acidosis process, and you don't have to choose that road. That you have perfect health within you, high energy within you, and you don't have to choose that path of the conventional mainstream approach. Okay? Two different ideas. Okay? You need to make the jump from I don't have control of my health to I have total control of my health, well-being, and my entire life. And I can direct my life with decisions and choices and commitment and clarity. And when I gain clarity from my food, I come to the clarity and come to the truth. As I remove the toxic elements, I realize the truth more deeply. This is the separation. This is what's going on in our world, okay? We need to realize, because the human animal is the sickest animal on the planet. Okay, there is no other animal that has our sickness, our disease, right? Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, mental health, um, depression, anxiety, um, autism, everything, every disease is on the rise, and there's no other animal that has this, okay? Because no other animal eats a non-species specific meal plan. Okay, panda bears eat bamboo. That's what they eat. That's all they eat. If you feed a panda bear starch and meat, the panda bear will get sick. If you feed a panda bear multiple foods and food combined, the panda bear will get sick. If you put improper foods together for the panda bear will get sick. The panda bear only eats one food. All of the other animals in the wild eat meat, or they eat fruit, or they eat grass. Cows, for instance, eat grass. That's what they eat. They eat grass, and they manufacture everything inside of their body from eating grass. Okay, why does the human need to eat all these different things and put them all together? That's not natural. Okay, the incorrect information has come from the cell. The scientists looked at the cell. The cell was made of protein. The cell was made of lipids. We must eat proteins and lipids in our diet. We have to eat them. We have to eat muscles in order to build muscles, to build proteins. Okay. Now, cows don't eat muscles to build muscle. Cows eat grass to build muscle. Okay. See the flaw in the thought process. The scientists looked at the cell and said, we have these physical structures in the cell, therefore we have to consume these physical structures. This is incorrect. We are not just these physical structures. There is more to us. We are beyond this. Okay? We don't need to eat these proteins to manufacture these proteins inside of our body. This is an incorrect thought paradigm that's existed for a couple of 100 years. It's old and it's incorrect, and it's stopping us from moving forward. It's got us all trapped, doctors included, nutritionists included, dietitians included. They're all stuck in the old paradigm, and it's incorrect, and it's killing us. And that's why all of mankind is getting sick, and it's the sickest animal on the planet. And it's because we're eating cooked foods, non-species specific foods. We're the only animal that is cooking our food, of course. No other animal is destroying their food that way. I'll leave that there just because I'm really just trying to get a little bit of review in. If you didn't see last week, I hope you did watch last week. But I talked last week here about the lymphatic bed. I talked about the capillary bed and the veins. You can see the red is the capillary beds, the veins is the blue, and the red is the blood, the nutrient rich, the oxygen rich blood coming to the cellular tissue, bringing oxygenated blood to the cells. So cells exist within the capillary bed. That's where they get their nourishment. Okay, and then as they're nourished, the blood passes through the capillaries, nourishes the cells, and the cells take what they need from the blood. And then the problem is that the cells need to also remove the waste. Now, if we have this constant thought process that we need to get more items all of the time, then we tend to overfeed the body with nutrient, protein, vitamin, mineral, carbohydrate, fats. We keep loading the body in with this stuff, thinking that the more that we put in, the more healthy we will be. That's not correct at all. Our health is actually within us. And if we remove the obstruction, we will return back to the health. So we need to get some of the stuff that's inside our capillary beds out of the capillary beds so that we can realize our true health. So those toxic elements that are getting stuck in the lymphatic system because we're being fed protein all the time, we're being fed starch all the time. These are not species-specific foods. This stuff, the cell is trying to release, it's getting stuck in the lymphatic beds, it's creating a mucus and a plaque and a hardening in the lymphatic system. That hardening is referred to as mucoid plaque, right? And we need something to try to clear that plaque and get the lymphatic system, the fluid of the lymphatic system moving again, okay? We need to get the fluid in the lymphatic system moving freely so that the lymphatic system can do what it's meant to do, which is be our immune system and our removal of toxic elements from our body. And instead of what's happening is we've got these toxic elements sitting in our cells. Our cells are sitting in this acid toxic environment, and that's what's causing the pain in the body. Okay, because the cells are sitting in pools of acid. They're actually literally burning, and that's creating pain for the body of all kinds, all different ways. All right. So moving forward from where we were last week, we are talking about the benefits of the fruit. And I know there is just so much information out there about, fruit, sugar being bad. And there is a lot of truth to that. Sugars are not great for the body. Sugars are not good at all. In fact, fruit sugar is a very specific sugar, right? It's not the normal sugar. The fructose that's in the fruit, it is the highest vibration sugar that there is, right? So it has the highest angstrom unit of any of the sugars, and the fructose is highly specific and very different because the fructose can move inside of the cell without insulin, which is different than the glucose and the galactose and the maltose and the polysaccharides and the disaccharides and the starches. Okay, these are all sugars as well too. The starches are chains of small, simple sugar molecules. Glucose molecules in a chain create a starch. So if we eat our starches, then the body needs to digest those sugars and break up that starch into its individual glucose molecules. And then those glucose molecules need to be shuttled into the cell to be utilized for energy. And glucose requires insulin to get inside the cell. All of the other molecules, sugar molecules, require insulin to get inside of the cell. Fructose does not. Isn't that so unique? The fruit sugar is very special. It's different than all of the other sugars. Why? Because it's the food we're supposed to eat. Because it's the food that shuttles energy into the cell through diffusion rather than through insulin transport. It doesn't use ATP in order to shuttle fructose inside the cell. Diffusion alone, in that fructose can just move into the cell, just from digestion can move into the capillary bed and provide nourishment without any insulin, is huge, is enormous. And when I started to understand this, it started to really connect more deeply to the fact that we are actually supposed to be eating this sugar. It's designed for us, right? The fruits are very specific, right? They are acidic foods. I know you're familiar with this. If you eat a lemon, you know lemons are acidic, right? They are alkaline. Now, this is where there's some confusion. I'm going to talk about alkalinity more next week in more detail. You need to understand this better. The alkalinity process. Lemons are alkaline in comparison to the lymphatic system. They're more acidic than the blood. Okay, so understand, fruits are still acidic. They're still on the acid side of chemistry. They're still acid-based. We need them to be acid-based. That's what's very specific about fruits, is they're acid-based, and that is what allows them to break up the mucoid plaque, that hardened plaque inside the lymphatic system. The fruits do that. The fruits are considerably still more alkaline than the lymphatic system, and so as a result, they raise the alkalinity of the lymphatic system. It's the lymphatic system that has become acidic from overfeeding and all of that, those toxic elements moving into the lymphatic system and being held and stuck in the lymphatic system and hardening in there, that the lymphatic system has reduced in acidity, and it's over acidic. And once we get to this point where the lymphatic system is overly acidic, this is when we start to create disease in the body. This is when the body starts to attract fungus and geez, I've lost the word right now, but when we have H. pylori, it's like some sort of animal that's living within us. Oh, geez, I've forgotten. But when we've got this acidity in our lymphatic system, that acidity attracts disease and attracts alternative beings, elements, living things to come inside and live within us. This is when bacteria can foster within us. Now, if we return our lymphatic system to its natural alkaline state, then these foreign entities, these disease carrying bacteria won't be able to exist within the lymphatic system. They won't be able to exist within us. So it's the acid of the fruit that is very beneficial for breaking up the mucoid plaque, the hardened plaque in the lymphatic system, get the fluid moving again, right, inside the lymphatic system, which is what we need to have happen. We need to get that fluid moving again and clearing. So the astringent fruits do that. The acid-based fruits do that. Astringent basically means that they have a little quivering, they create a quivering effect inside the tissues. For instance, again, if you take a lemon and you put that inside of your mouth, your mouth will kind of pucker like that, right? The muscles, the tissues squeeze and pucker when we eat a lemon. All of the facial muscles constrict. So if you eat a lot of lemon or a lot of citrus, it's excellent because you put all that astringent inside of your body. All the tissues are going to go like this, right? And that squeezing of the tissues is what's going to break up the lymphatic plaque, mucoid plaque, and lubricate it and allow it to be pumping and moving back into the lymphatic system. So the fruits are highly specific foods. No other food can do that. Okay, you need to see that and understand that, and that's what's going to help you to realize that this is the way that you need to go. And as you go more in this way, you'll alkalize and detoxify, and you'll get more clarity, and you'll see it more. Okay, the fruits are the ones that contain the pectin. Now, Dr. Ehret was talking about fecal matter and fecal waste inside of the cadavers in 1910. Okay, cadavers in 1910 were holding 5 to 10 pounds of fecal waste. In the book, there was another portion in the book where he said between 10 and 15 pounds. So there's a little bit of controversy there. Between 5 and 15 pounds of fecal matter was found within the cadavers of all the bodies that he was studying. Okay, so fast forward 110 years, there's going to be 15 to 40 pounds of fecal matter within our bodies today. That is disease causing. Pectin is the removal fiber that's found in fruit that's going to help your body release that fecal matter that you've got to get out of your body. How can it be healthy to hold 10 or 15 or 20 pounds of human waste within your body? It's not. It's not health. It's disease causing. It's disease forming. Okay, it's one of the huge disease formers of today. It's a huge pain former. It's changing your mood, your energy, your clarity, having all of that fecal matter inside your digestive system, leaking that material into your bloodstream. Okay. Fruits contain the highest vitamins, minerals, flavonoids, antioxidants. They contain the most nutrients. They are the best. Okay? They have the highest electromagnetism. Everything on this planet has a current. Everything made by God has a current. Everything alive has a current. It is a current of alchemy, electromagnetism, electricity. It's able to conduct electricity. That means it has to have a negative charge, and it has to have an antagonistic magnetic charge, or the alkaline side. So there's an alkaline side and an electric side. These are the two elements of a living being, something created by God, electromagnetism. So if you take an electromagnetic meter and connect it to a human being, the human being will have an electromagnetism, a reading of about 6,500, 6,700 angstrom, it's called. Okay, that's healthy vibration, vibrational energy, electromagnetic energy. The fruits contain the highest electromagnetic energy. Okay, now, if you look at the other animals on the planet, the closest planet animal to us is the primate. Okay, they also eat 95% plus fruits. Okay, if you look at the other animals on the planet, we closest resemble the primates because they walk on 2 feet just like us. Okay, they have fingers and toes just like us. They have eyes and a mouth that look and see and move and turn their heads like us. They are like us. Their digestive system is like us, right? They also eat the highest vibrational foods. Okay, we are evolved beyond them, and we need to eat those highest vibration foods, the highest electromagnetic foods as well too. Now, those foods will elevate our energy, elevate our awareness to where we're reaching in beyond the physical into the spirit body, the highest vibration. That's where we need to go to. Okay, the fruits pull us up into that space. The fruits are the most hydrating, so they contain all of the potassium and magnesium and electrolytes for electrolyte balance, sodium and potassium in particular. So they're going to hydrate us best. Okay, the fruits contain the distilled waters because the sunlight comes down and through chlorophyll in the trees and the plant, it's manufactured, and the fruit is created. The light of the sun is manifest in a fruit. The energy of the sun is manifest and hydrated within a fruit. And we eat that fruit, we get the light, the energy of the sun. We are beings of light. We eat the fruit light, we eat the vegetable light from the sun, the energy from the sun. Our energy comes from the sun. We are of the sun. Everything on this planet is of the sun. Okay, the fruits contain sugar, but I already explained the fruit sugar is fructose. It is a very highly specific sugar. It's the highest vibration of sugar or energy source, fuel energy on the in the body, and on the planet. And that's the energy that we need, because that's the sugar that can get into the cell without insulin. We need to get the fructose. Okay, we need to eat our species-specific foods. If you look at species, they have a natural gravitation to eat what they should, right? If you take a cat, for instance, a baby cat, couple of weeks old, If you put them in an empty room with a mouse or a chicken and a strawberry or a bowl of grapes, the cat will not eat the bowl of grapes. The cat will eat the mouse or chase the mouse or chase the chicken. Even a 2-week-old cat will species specifically know to go after the moving object. It wants that. That's what cats eat. They're carnivorous. I'm going to talk about this next week, more omnivore, carnivore, herbivore. Okay, but just touching on it right now, the cat is carnivorous and knows instinctively to eat the chicken or the mouse or chase it. But now, if you put a baby in the room, a toddler, the toddler will eat the grapes or the strawberry and will not eat the chicken. Like, it may chase the chicken to play with the chicken, but not to want to eat the chicken or the mouse. It has no desire to eat that until it's taught that, right? We're taught. We don't drink alcohol, then we're taught to drink it. We don't drink coffee, then we're taught to drink it. We don't gravitate towards meat until we learn, we're fed it by our parents and told to eat it, and we're insisted to eat it, and then we adjust to it. Now, all of the other animals that eat meat eat their meat raw. They eat the whole thing, and they just eat the one animal. Like a tiger catches a zebra and eats the zebra. It doesn't eat the zebra and some of the vegetables that are there on the grass, and eat some of the grass, and then eat some of the berries, and then eat. The tiger doesn't do that. Okay, only the human does that. Okay, why does the human do that? Because he's learned that behavior. It's an incorrect behavior that he's learned. And it's unlearning process of incorrect thought and behavior that's going to bring you back to your healthy self. The fruits are the sugars that we need to eat, and we need to learn and understand why and what's gone on, the incorrectness that's gone on. The animal protein is what we're told we need to have all of the time. You know, this was a humongous barrier for me. It took me 6 months to get off of the meat because I had to come off of it slowly, because I did not believe that I could live without meat. I had been living and sharing that information, that idea, for so many years that I couldn't wrap my mind around it. Okay, protein requirements. If you go to different doctors and different sources, protein requirements are different. If you talk to bodybuilders, they'll tell you 2 pounds per lean body mass. If you talk to athletes, they'll tell you 1 pound per lean body mass. If you talk to obesity people that are trying to help, doctors that are trying to help people lose weight, they'll say 0.7 grams, or some people will say even 0.4 grams per pound of lean body mass. It's different. Every single doctor will have a different theory, different opinion. They all choose different need, right? Every single source is different. Everyone has a different opinion. It's all personal opinion. Now, you can choose the opinion of this one or choose the opinion of that one, but that's all it is. It's not fact. And this is being touted as fact. Okay. Now, what was a humongous transition for me in this book? Dr. Ehret wrote in 1909. What was, I could already see where the confusion was starting from what Dr. Ehret wrote. On page 45 on blood building, on creating cells, Dr. Ehret wrote, "Here again, I must quote the great authority of physiological chemistry, Professor von Budge." So Ehret was having conversation with the leading professor of the planet at the time. And von Budge said, life is based, said he does not endorse the official medical teaching. So there was a division between Ehret and von Budge and the teachings of the standard medical community, like the FDA, and what they're teaching the doctors was different from what von Budge and Ehret were finding in the field. And they were in opposition to what the FDA was recommending in 1910. He clearly points out, von Budge goes on to explain why, and then the authors that started physiology science lacked. So here's what Ehret says about protein requirements in 1910. He's saying in 1910 that this information was incorrect, and we're still using that same information today, protein requirements. The authors that started physiological science lacked principally knowledge in chemistry due to a more humanistic education rather than a science of nature. On the other hand, inorganic chemistry was not sufficiently developed at the time. Von Budge was a physiological chemist, was a leader of inorganic chemistry, and realized that what they were using for inorganic chemistry information prior to 1910 was incorrect information, so they couldn't have the correct understanding of the needs of protein. And so von Budge and Ehret realized that that information was incorrect. They spoke about it in the book. And when I realized that in 1910 that these leading experts in the field that had been having much success in healing people's lives recognized the incorrectness of the FDA's recommendations back then, and they are still the same, that we need protein. Misleading idea again, protein. They reasoned as follows: muscles, tissue, the entire essential substance is protein. Therefore, this substance must be introduced in the blood in order to build, to grow. In other words, you must eat muscles to build muscles. You must eat protein to build protein. You must eat fat to build fat. In the case of a nursing mother, she must drink milk to make milk. The cow builds flesh, tissue, bones, hair, milk, efficiency, heat, all from grass. How is that possible? If the cow builds all of its tissue from grass, why does the man need to eat different types of tissue in order to manufacture different types of tissue? Do you see the inconsistency that Ehret clearly pointed out in the book in 1910, was pointing out to the FDA, but the FDA was not on side with that information? Why is that? Okay, I was beginning to see it as soon as I read this information from such a long time ago. Okay, another paragraph I'm just going to read, one more quick one, because I don't want to read, but you know, this is a great book for you to get some reference and get some deeper understanding. I've provided you a link last week. If you want more information like this, if you want this book, I'll send it to you. Just reach out to me. Okay, I've got a digital copy for you. Okay, albumin or protein is not the most important substance for our body, nor is it mineral salts, minerals. It's not minerals either, alone, which build perfect blood. The cardinal standard substance for man's blood is the highest developed form of carbohydrate, chemically called sugar stuff, grape or fruit sugar, as contained more or less in all ripe fruits and in the next lower state in vegetables. Okay, so in 1910, this information was documented and was clearly being shared, and this information was ignored by the FDA. And I'm just saying to you that's just because it was non-profitable information. It didn't foster factory farming. It didn't foster the sale of vitamins and minerals, alkaline water sales. It sold starches and grains and it was beneficial for the food companies, right? The food and drug company are in the same house. They support each other. They are profit-focused businesses. This is the problem with the current paradigm. It's profit-focused, and it's been profit-focused from 1900. And now 120 years later, it's more profit-focused than ever, and people are more misled and more confused about what the truth is. You're going to have to do some deep research in order to find the truth and realize that what we're being told is incorrect information. We don't need B12. We don't need iron. We don't need animal protein. All of these things can be found in our fruits and vegetables. Okay? If you look at the breast milk of a mother, the food that is supposed to be most ideal for the child, the infant growing adult, The best food for the infant growing adult is the breast milk. It's less than 3% protein. So why would the standard recommendation for protein requirements for the adult be somewhere around 30% of the nutrition? The adult is already fully grown. Why would the child that's growing more rapidly than any other time in our life require 3% protein, and the adult require 30% protein? There is an incorrectness here. You don't realize it until you get some deep research to understand that this problem is hundreds of years old. Okay, the problem runs deep, and you're going to have to get some new information in your mind in order to accomplish it and realize it. Okay, the angstrom units of meat, it's dead. The angstrom units of meat is 0. It has no energy for the body, it has no life for the body. Consider that. Okay, your body is live cells, live cellular tissue. The cells are trying to reproduce themselves, they're getting damaged, they need to reproduce themselves. Okay, they want to rebuild more live cells. The body wants to rebuild more live cells. Okay, now, if the body's trying to build live cells and it's using the materials of nutrition, which is how the theory goes. The theory of nutrition is that we're putting the nutrients in for the body to build live cells from. Well, if I'm taking in a dead chicken, then the material that I'm taking in is dead. Well, everyone knows that you can't bring an animal back to life. I can't bring an animal back to life, neither can you. So you can't manufacture live cells from dead animals. If you've got dead, decomposing flesh, you can't bring it back to life and create a live cell out of it. So that material is decomposing element. That is a toxin inside of your body, and it's acidic. And when it gets stuck inside of your cells, inside of your lymphatic system, it creates toxicity, and it's going to lead to cancer if you don't get it out. It's going to lead to pain and disease of all kinds inside of your body, depending on which tissue it collects in most. That is going to be different for each one of us, and it's going to manifest itself in different ways for each one of us. However, what we do need to do is get the acid items out of our nutrition plan. That is all of the cooked foods. So here is the lymphatic system. This is where healing begins. And if you look at the lymphatic system in this image here, you'll see that there's a lot of lymphocytes and lymph nodes right among the head, the neck, the shoulders. So people get a lot of pain here. I had a lot of pain here. This is where I'm feeling pain in my body. In my lowest back and my hips, this is where everyone thinks it's, what do they say, sciatica. They think it's sciatica, and they think it's my piriformis, and they think, oh, I slipped on the ice, I hurt my back, I'm picking something up, I hurt my back. It's actually that it's this lymphatic system that's here that's full of acidosis, and the cells here are sitting in acid. And that's why sometimes they act up and you go, I don't know why my back's bugging me today. I didn't do anything. It's not because you did something, it's because you ate something that aggravated the acids in the area. It's because you've contributed more to your acid by pigging out on Saturday night that on Sunday morning that your back is hurting you more. It's not something that you did. It's something that you ate. It's more acidosis that's pouring into the area and it's creating more acid pain for those cells, right? And sometimes it clears because you've eaten better, or you've drank more water, or you've used better source water, cleaner water that's allowed some of that acid to leave, or you've been empty for a longer period of time, so some healing has occurred and the pain goes away. So the pain is not what you think it is. But it's the lymphatic system where the healing needs to happen. We need to get the fluids of the lymphatic system moving again, and that's by pouring in the fruit, the species-specific foods that we need, and the foods that are going to allow the lymphatic system to start draining again, and our immune system to function and heal. So there are basically 3 major sites within the body that this healing really needs to happen. When the lymphatic system starts to move, now the lymph can get back to the kidney, the kidney can start functioning properly, and then now the kidney starts filtering again, and then the urine starts to turn yellow again, because everyone's yellow, urine is really clear. If you've got really clear urine all the time, it's always white, it's because your kidney's not filtering. Your kidney's not filtering because your lymphatic system's clogged. And not having a kidney filtering properly means that you've got toxicity just building up in your body, because the kidneys are supposed to clean that body, right? So this failing lymphatic system, this failing kidney is going to contribute to acidosis through the entire body. It's going to make your body gain fat. It's going to get your body get sick and have pain. Okay, we need to get the kidneys filtering. The skin, the body sweats, so toxins can move out through the skin, through the hair follicle, right? So you may notice skin issues, right? If you've got acid forming foods in your diet, if you're eating cooked foods a lot, or you're drinking alcohol and coffee, you're putting a lot of acid into your body, which everybody is, then you may notice that you're getting boils in the skin. You may notice you get acne on the skin. You may notice that you get all sorts of skin irritations and disease, right? That acid is leaking out. It's coming out through your skin. Some people's comes out through their skin. Some people's get stuck in the kidney. Some people get stuck in the liver. Some people get stuck in the gallbladder. Some people get stuck in the digestive system. Some people get stuck in the fecal matter. Some people get impacted in the colon. Some people get constipation. All of these things are the blockages that happen because of tightness, hardening that's happening inside the plaque, inside the lymphatic system. So we got to clear that lymphatic system and get all of these systems of healing working again, so the body's ridding itself of toxic waste, and that toxicity is not building up inside of our bodies, and our bodies are buffering by storing fat. That's how the body's buffering the acid that's collecting in the body. That's why the body's gaining body fat even though you're eating the same amount of food, or you're eating the same foods, okay, because your body's getting acidic. Okay, the healing crisis now is what can happen, if you're feeling like low energy, you're feeling mucus running, you're feeling headaches, you're feeling digestive issues, you're feeling acidic in the stomach, you're feeling constipated, you're getting diarrhea, anxiety, fever, runny nose, phlegm in the throat, weight loss, sore teeth, skin disorders, blemishes, boils, sore throat, cough, sleep issues. All of these things can happen as the healing crisis. As you get your lymphatic system and that fluid starting to move again, that fluid can be reintroduced back into your system. It goes into your cells. It starts creating mucus in the cells. You start to get coughs, and it starts wanting to come out through your skin. You get boils, blemishes. It could happen. It can come out through the teeth. You can get pain in your teeth. What people think is, oh my gosh, I'm getting sick. I guess I'm getting sick. Or I've got diarrhea, I've got stomach flu, I've got food poisoning. And then they think that maybe the fruit is bad, or fruit's not good for me, and they go back to the regular food. They go back to the regular food, and then obviously the healing crisis stops, because now your body's more acidic again. So your body's not healing anymore. The mucus is not running again. The mucus is hardening again. It's not moving freely and entering back into the system to be moved out of the body through fasting, through the colon, through the urine, because the kidneys are filtering again. Instead of leaving the body, it's not again, because you've eaten regular foods again. So we get sick and we return back to the regular diet. And this is why we get people never getting out of their stuck space. Every time they get sick, they think they need to return back to the regular diet. Every time they get sick, they think they need to take medications, and medications add to acidity in the body. Right? Every time you get a headache, you take medication, you stop the headache, because the headache's coming because you're detoxifying. The headache is a part of the detoxification process. It's a part of the healing crisis. We need to go through the headache. We need to go through the fever. We need to go through the fatigue. We need to go through the anxiety, the depression. Go through it, and you'll find that your body will clear. Herbs can be very helpful. I'll be giving you more information about that. I start adding some herbs to the diet this week. Okay, cracking down on the detoxification process for these last 3 weeks. I'd like you to start cycling 3 to 5 days of the week where you're trying to do a full detox. Now, I can't force you. I can only suggest this to you. right? And encourage you to try this out. Now, I would love for you to stop the toxic fluids, juice. Get out the coffee, the tea, the alcohol, any drugs that are elective of any kind, see if we can get them out. That means cigarettes, cannabis, street drugs. Try to stop all non-integral behavior. Try to get all of your energy working in the same place. Try to be focusing positively, right? Eliminate the fast food, the soda, the junk food, the cooked foods, the sugar, the dairy, the late night eating, the gluten. Try to get it all out if you can, and drink a lot of distilled water. It has to be distilled water. It can't be alkaline water. It can't be filtered water. That's not the type of water that we need. It has to be distilled water or fruit hydrated water, fruit water. That's the water that's activated by the sun. Distilled water, okay? Herbal teas for breakfast. You could make a herbal tea of ginger, turmeric, milk thistle, dandelion root, chamomile, peppermint, cinnamon, burdock root. You can boil these roots. You can get these teas. You can boil them. You can make these teas for breakfast and for dinner. Other helpful products, activated charcoal, bentonite clay, and diatomaceous earth. Not necessary, but can be beneficial. If you need to get more details about them, you could reach out to me. I can help you out. You can start to apply these things in your life. Don't try to do it all at once. I want to give you the information, and you can work it in slowly. We don't have to do it all. Let's just this week, if we can drop the coffee and tea, we can drop the alcohol, if we can cut the meat out, or if we're just going to have that meat and dinner at the dinner meal. And then we're going to try to do fruits most of the other meals, okay? And it's not just a little bit of fruit, guys. It's a healthy serving of fruit. A huge bowl of grapes, a couple of melons, 4 or 5 oranges, 4 apples or 4 pears. We're talking about significant amounts of fruits, a big bowl of berries, okay? Citrus, melons, these are the best. Dried fruits, prunes and figs, okay? Dates. If you need to fill the corners, it's nuts and seeds. These are raw sources of all fats and proteins. If your body needs those, it can find them all there. Okay, there's 2 steps to the detoxification process. It's fasting and it's rehydrating with fruit. Vegetable is wonderful for the removal through the colon. Having a salad at night for dinner. Fruits during the day, salad at night for dinner. Some people like to reverse that, put the salad first, put fruits into the day. Depends on your own body's physiology, what you like. But it's fasting and it's fruiting. That is the cycle that's going to detoxify your body and bring you back to your most powerful space. Help you to realize the truth about what you really are. You are not just your ego. You are more than that. Here's a perfect day for you. I'll make sure I include an example perfect day in your email. Right? Wait, try not to mix a whole bunch of fruits at the same time. It's better if you're eating one at a time, right? Raw juice, you could juice your fruits, but you can't pasteurize them. Pasteurized juices have no value. They're dead. Okay? You want to eat, you can take fruit and juice it, or vegetable and juice it yourself and drink it. Raw juice is wonderful. It's healing as well too. You could do that. You can go get raw juice somewhere, but you can't buy raw juice that comes in a carton. That's not raw juice. That's pasteurized juice. That's dead juice. Don't drink juice. Don't drink that. Stop the fizzy drinks. Stop the alcohol. Stop the coffee. I can only encourage you to do it and see for yourself what can happen when you really jump onto a more alkalized lifestyle. Test the alkalization and realize what happens. And then in that process of testing, you will learn more the power, the healing power of alkalinity. And as you learn that, you'll realize your most greatest power, strength, and abilities. Your immune system will improve. You'll no longer get sick. Once you get over the healing crisis, you'll no longer get sick. I don't get sick anymore. All right, I want to do a little mindfulness to finish us off today. I've shared a lot. I do have a lot still to share next week. Okay, I want to get you into the pH and understanding the pH. I want you to understand. I want you to understand omnivore, carnivore. You know, where this meat idea came from. You know, we've always eaten meat. Why is that? I want to clarify this for you. I want you to understand what's gone on. Why all the confusion? Why is all the division? I'm going to help you see that. You need to get an opportunity to do that. It's just a ton of information, and you need to understand it. So I'm trying to be as clear as I can. At the same time, I don't want to be pushy with the information. I don't want to come across as like, you know, I understand that learning and is different than knowing. Okay, and when you put something into practice, it becomes something that you know. So that's why I'm encouraging you to understand it, so that you will try it, and in the process of trying, you will hopefully know. I want you to know from the 6 weeks what it is that you need to do to heal your body and life and change anything you want in it. Find yourself in a relaxed space. Bring yourself to a relaxed space. Find yourself, put yourself into a space of stillness, a quiet space. This is a practice, a mental practice. Mindfulness is a practice that we need to learn. It's a skill that we need to learn. As we learn to focus better, as we gain greater awareness of ourselves, this is how we create change in our life. So mindfulness is just a great way to gain awareness of self, because we are with ourselves when we are in our most quiet space, or less agitated space. Right? Just before bed, just as we wake up, our minds are most still, most quiet then. It's the best time then for reprogramming the mind, visualizing, thinking about what we want, thinking about the wonderful things we have, gratitude, thinking about the goals, right? Thinking about our goal for ourselves, what we want to create for ourselves, how we want to feel, the health we want to have, dollars we want to have, the relationship we want to have, the careers and lives we want to live, the person we want to be. We want to be aligned with that loving, deep spirit, energy part of ourselves, the part that is a part of everyone on this planet, the part where happiness and joy exists. Closing your eyes, bringing your attention to our breath. The breath is the prana, the energy, the life force is the breath. Watching the breath brings us to the powerful space, to the moment. Watch your breath. Try to move to full breaths. When you get anxious, we get depressed, we change our breathing. We stop breathing, we get stuck in the mind. We get stuck in the body, some pain in the body, some disease in the body. We get stuck in a thought of a disease. We identify with a disease, identify with a sickness or a pain or an emotion or a sadness or an anger. Identify with a physical part of our ego. This is not us. We get stuck here. We can leave this space by focusing on the breath. Bring your attention to your breath. Nice full breaths. Hold the breath inside. Breathe out slowly and gently, releasing tension in the body. Cooked foods contain acid. Acid agitates the mind, makes it harder to focus, harder to hold your attention. You can't achieve that space of spirit. You get stuck in the ego mind. Breathe in deeply. Watch the breath come in, hold it inside. Try not to think. Try to just listen, or just focus on your breathing. That's how you center yourself. Just watching your breath. Nice deep breaths in, hold it inside. Breathe it out slowly and gently, just at your own pace. Don't force it, just watch your breath. my meditation instructor, one of my instructors taught me about taking an active refuge. This is it's a Buddhist idea, it's a Buddhist concept, to take an active refuge. An active refuge is when I just say, okay, for right now, I'm just going to put everything aside for a moment. Yes, I've got this to do. Yes, I've got that going on. Yes, I've got that situation. Yes, that's true, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. I'm going to take an active refuge. I'm going to put all of my problems aside for now. I'm not going to focus on this or that. I'm going to focus on something else. I'm going to focus on leaving my mind or my problem, my body, my physical pain, my emotion, my problem. Leave my problems and table them all, take an active refuge, and just focus on my breath. And that way, leave my mind. Come into my most powerful space, the center, my center. Coming into my center, coming into the moment where the power is in the moment. As we share this breath together, we share this moment together, we share this power together. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's just be very conscious of our thought energy, knowing that what we put out comes back to us. Let's be very conscious and direct with our thought energy right now. Nice deep breaths in, just watching your breath, just listening to my voice. Let's be conscious of our thought energy. Let's think of the person that's most important to us in our lives, our primary partner, the person we've been given, is gifted to share life with. The spirit we are chosen to share life with, the gift that we've been given, another spirit to exist, share life with. How do we act towards that spirit? It's very important. That spirit recognizes, our spirit recognizes what we're thinking and the energy we're putting out towards that primary person, that most important gift in our life. Right now, let's be very specific with our energy. Every coach on the planet will agree that first you must build your own energy before you build anyone else's. First thing in the morning, focus on your goals, on your energy, and how you want to feel. You can ask yourself, you can talk to yourself, you can talk to your spirit body and your mind. May I be peaceful. You can ask your spirit body for things. May I be happy. May I realize true happiness. May I come into alignment with my true being, my true happiness. May I recognize any thoughts, words, or actions that I have, that I hold, any energy that I'm holding on to as interfering or blocking me from happiness or joy in my life. May I be happy. May I be love. May I be loving. May I align with love in my life. May I be free. Once we've built our energy with some affirming thoughts, words, questions, actions, ideas, once we've built our energy, we can focus on our primary partner, and we can do that for them. We can send loving energy toward them. May they find joy today. May they find peace. May they find love. May I give love to them. May I share love with them. May I recognize any thoughts, words, actions that I have that interfere with me loving them. May they be free today. Loving kindness meditation, building out from the center, from building the self to the primary partner, and then outwards to others on the planet we share this planet with. And think of someone that is in need, in greater need than you. Maybe they're sick, maybe they're poor, maybe they're paraplegic, maybe they're a different culture or color or religion. Maybe there's some people that you don't like. You could forgive them right now in your mind. You could send love to them right now. For what you put out comes back to you. You could send peace to those people right now. May they find peace. You could send joy to those people right now. May they find joy. May they find love. May they find the love they seek. May they be free. I could bring it back to myself after practice, and I could think about how I want to be, who I want to be today. I want to be the most inspiring person that you meet today. If that is my focus, if that is my intention, then when I act that way, I will feel great. When I don't act that way, I will feel poorness. And when I feel those lower energies, I know my thoughts are incorrect. This is the benefit of practice. Whenever you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring yourself back to now. If you'd like to ask me any questions, you can send me an email, guys. If you need anything from me, you can send me an email. If we need to arrange a phone call with me, we can arrange. You can email me, reach out to me in any way. We can make arrangements to help you in any way. If you're on the program live or if you're on the program recording, I'm here to help you. I'm your support network. I'm your accountability partner. I'm the one that helps you create this change, providing you with the information. If you need anything, reach out to me. All the best. Have a good week.